The first step is to check the receiving area for new shipments of reels that have arrived. Unbox the reels and check them quickly for any damage. Lay out all of the reels and get a picture of them to take inventory so there are no discrepancies in the future. When you're done with that, you can put the reels back into the box they came in. The next step after receiving the films is to take them downstairs to the basement to be cleaned. You'll want to make sure that you have an extra box to put the clean films in once you're done with them to keep things organized. To clean 8mm films, you will use the smaller device on the table to the right. First, you will want to notice the plastic blue reel on the device. Make sure that this reel has the small white plastic adapter placed into the center of it so it will fit on the mount, and secure it with a small metal tab. Next, you will remove the film from its case and set the case aside. Make sure the film is somewhat tight by pulling it through the reel. Don't pull too hard though. Now place the film on the lower mount of the device with the film feeding out from the top of the reel and towards the top of the blue reel. Secure the reel on the mount with a metal tab. Now we will quickly clean the beginning of the film. First, take a paper towel, rip it into a few pieces, and fold it a few times until you have a square that you can fold over between your fingers. Then drip some of the cleaning solution onto it. Take the beginning of the film with the paper towel in hand, pinch your fingers on the film, and run it all the way to the end. Set aside the paper towel for now and find the small opening on the blue reel and position it to the top. Now take the beginning of the film and feed it into the opening of the blue reel. Rotate the blue reel so the film is being wound into it until the film catches. Now that there is tension between the two reels, you can take the paper towel, pinch the film lightly between your two fingers, and continue reeling the film into the blue reel. Check the paper towel from time to time to make sure it has enough cleaning solution on it. Once you have finished cleaning the film and it is entirely on the blue reel, you will need to remove each of the reels from the mounts and switch them. The original reel can be placed on the upper mount either way. However, you will need to remove the small plastic adapter from the blue reel, spin the reel around, put it back on the other side, and then place the blue reel on the lower mount. Now the blue reel should be feeding the film out the top and towards the other reel, like we did before, and you should be able to find an opening on the original reel to feed the film into. Just like before, rotate the film until it catches. Now you do not need to clean the film anymore, but it will be helpful to take the paper towel and apply a small amount of pressure to the top of the blue reel to create some tension, and stop the blue reel from wobbling. This should make it easier for you to wind it back into the original reel. Once the film is back onto the original reel, you can remove it from the mount and place it back into its case. Then put the film in the extra box. It is a good idea to label the boxes cleaned and not cleaned, along with the name of the customer who has donated the films to stay organized. If you are inspecting a film and notice a tear or break, you will need to repair it using either the 16mm splicer as seen here, or doing it by hand for 8mm films. When fixing an 8mm film, do not cover both sets of sprockets with tape. Try to only cover one side. Moving on to cleaning 16mm films. This process is very similar to the 8mm, only with a larger cleaning device. The original reel with the film is placed onto the right mount and will remain there until the end. The original reel will be placed with the film feeding out the top towards the reel to the left. Once you have secured the original reel on the right mount, use the paper towel and cleaning solution to clean the beginning of the film. Then find the opening on the empty metal reel to the left and put the film into it. Rotate the empty metal reel to the left until the film catches. Now that there is tension between the two reels, get the paper towel with cleaning solution in your right hand and grab the handle on the left with your left hand. Make sure you are pushing in slightly with the handle because it will spin freely of the reel otherwise. Now lightly pinch the film between your fingers holding the paper towel. The reels spin opposite the direction you spin the handle, so spin the handle clockwise and the film will begin to feed into the empty metal reel. Once the film is entirely on the other reel, you will want to take the end of the film back to the original reel, find the opening, put it in, and then spin the reel until it catches. Now you can use your right hand to spin the right handle counterclockwise while using something like a piece of cardboard on top of the left reel to add tension. Once the film is back onto the original reel, you can remove it from the mount and place it back into its case. Then put the film into the clean box. Then you can move on to the next 60mm film and repeat the process. That is all the steps you need to know when it comes to cleaning 8mm and 60mm films. We will start with converting 8mm films. First, turn on the computer and open the Cinecap Velocity HD program. Under File Settings, Drive for Processing, make sure that you are processing to the external 8mm processing drive. On the capture screen, type the customer's name in the customer section. Delete the 001 and replace it with R1. Before processing the next reel, you will need to rename it to Reel 2 and so on. Next, turn on the projector using the switch labeled Power and the icon screen with the button at the bottom right corner. This knob controls rewind, neutral, and play. For now, you're going to want to leave it in the neutral position. Now you are ready to start mounting the film and feeding it through the projector. You will be mounting the film on the empty mount to the right with the sprocket holes towards you like this. Now feed the film down and around the peg below and through the projector like so. Once you have done that, place the film on the plastic reel to the left. It should grip on its own as you spin the reel. Once the film catches on the reel, you can turn the knob to the play position. You should now see the film on your screen in the program window. It may not be in focus or framed incorrectly. Go to the switch labeled Motor and flick it on. The film should start being fed through the projector. Now you can adjust the settings using this knob to adjust the exposure. And this tab to move the frame left and right. You can use the zoom function on the camcorder to zoom in and out on the image. Also make sure the image is in focus by using the focus tab on the camcorder. Use this tab to move the frame up and down. Use the yellow box on the screen as a guideline to center the image. When done, rewind and start capturing from the beginning of the film. However, before you start recording, you will need to prepare for creating a detailed log of the films you are watching. Using your laptop and a Word or Google Doc, you will log all the information on the film that you can. Specifically dates, locations, people, and any other important information you can ascertain from the film. When the film is ended, click the stop button and flick the motor switch off. Press the keep button to save the film. If there was any mistakes or you had to stop for some reason, you can use the throw button to delete that capture. Now you can go to the speed change tab. This is where you can see all of the captures. Now you can rewind the film by taking the end of the film from the plastic reel and bringing it across and under the peg. Tuck it into the opening of the original reel and rotate it until it catches. Now you can turn the knob to rewind and flick the motor switch to rewind the film. Remove the film and place it into a box labeled Done. At the end of the day, you will want to go back to the Speed Change tab and view each of the films you captured to choose a frame rate for them. Do so by double-clicking on the film, then using the tab at the bottom right to cycle through frame rates and find the one that looks the best. It is usually helpful to find a scene of people walking or moving if possible. Once you have done that, select Done. Then go to the Speed Selection section on the right, select the speed, and then under that select the plus HD button to add the speed to the film. Now under the Apply Mask section, select No. Once you have done this for each of the films, check the ones you want to process by clicking the checkbox to the left of their names, and then under the Processing section, click the Process button. Depending on how many films you have set up to process, it could take many hours, so it is most efficient to let them process overnight when possible. For the location of the processed films, go to Computer, open the Processing 8mm drive, and then go into the Velocity HD Processed folder. Now on to processing 60mm films. This process is very similar to the 8mm process, except for how you feed the film through the projector. For the 60mm, you will mount the original reel on the right peg, turn the knob to stop, and then feed it through the machine like this. One of the main differences between the 8mm and 60mm reels is that some of the 60mm reels have sound. Just make sure to always leave the sound switch on sound. Once you have successfully fed it through and caught it on the other reel, you can turn the knob to play. Make sure when you turn it to play that there is slack here and here. In the Cinecap Velocity HD Program Settings tab for 60mm films, you will also want to make sure that the drive for processing is the external 60mm processing drive. From here on, the process is practically the same as the 8mm films. Notice that the film should not be upside down on the screen, nor should it be playing in reverse. To fix this, you will need to flip the reel over so the film is feeding out the bottom and rewind it onto an empty reel. Rewind the 60mm films like this. As you complete each film, make sure to place them into your Done box off to the side. Occasionally, you will come across negative films. These will need to be processed separately from other films, as you will need to change the settings. Go to the Settings tab and check the box next to Process All Films as Negative. Now you can process negative films. Go to the Process folder afterwards to make sure the films are now black and white. Remember that you will need to go back into settings and uncheck the process negative box before processing any black and white or color films.
The DVD and LTO machine makes burning DVDs easy. All the materials you need are in the cubicle across from Scott's office. Grab your DVDs and DVD sleeves to get started. Once you get your stuff, boot the computer and click on Toast Titanium. And from here, you can adjust your window to the size you want. Click on the hard drive that you want to put the videos onto the DVD of, and you can basically drag and drop. You can add more if you need to. Just double check your red and green zone, make sure the space remaining is still proper, and you can put as many videos as you can onto one DVD. You can choose your menu style, and remember to unclick autoplay. You hit more to name your disc. Double check your settings, hit OK, hit the burn button. Remember to put your disc in. Once your disc is in, then you will be able to hit record. And once the computer finds it, the DVD, it shall start. Remember, hit right NTSC, and that should burn. Open the Photoshop template on the desktop. Now all you have to do is edit the text on the file. So here's an example where I type in name here. That's where you type in your name. Now to print, what you do is you hit print, and this will pop up. Hit the print button and proceed, and it should go to the printer. Reminder, this arrow means printing this way. So the feed direction is this way. Flip it over, make sure the arrow is facing that way, and insert into the paper tray, like so. Once the paper is in, the printer will print after you hit print. And this is how the paper shall look. The CD maker, pull the sticker off, insert over upside down, sticky side up, grab your DVD, place here, and press with your thumbs. Press tightly, reverse, inspect, and your DVD should look good. Making LTOs on the same machine as used for DVDs. The blank LTOs are located in the same place as the DVDs are. The reason why we make LTOs is to have a backup as a digital copy for our archive. We're going to start with the export process of changing the format from AVI to MOV/Apple ProRes. Start by opening up QuickTime 7. Then you want to let all the files open up into the QuickTime 7 windows. Then you can start by either hitting File, Export, or just hitting simply the Command E, and this window will pop up. Then you want to select the destination you want your files to go to. So we have it all set up here with a blank folder. Then we click the options, hit no sound, video only, settings, Apple ProRes, quality, medium, no gamma, as you see here, Apple ProRes, current frame rate, keep it all the same, no gamma correction. Then progressive, dimensions 1920 by 1080p. So as you hit Command E and hit enter, you can quickly move the files around, ease. Do not close the windows because it'll have an export problem. In the meantime, while you're waiting for this to export, this is a great opportunity for you to wait for it to export and walk away and put things away, because Scott likes a tidy office. After you have your files, you open up Retrospec, hit backup, and this will be a guided assistant for you. So hit continue, and do you want to back up? You back up on the hard drive that you have the Apple ProRes on, and you browse for those. So we have it in a certain folder that we saved it in. So you want to click on those folders, and you'll see inside we actually have those files in there. So you want to click on those files or the folders, click on each one, hit done, and you'll hit continue. And then we already have a home movies member started, so we hit add. Oh, what's this? We forgot to add tape. Don't forget to add a fresh, clean tape. Once you get the tape in there, you want to go back and make sure it sees the Tannenberg. So hit scan all, and it'll pop up. So now you should be able to go through and double check the backup summary. So you want to make sure the files that you want are clicked. So go back into your folder, and everything's clicked. Double check, and then now you can do is hit start now. And let this process go. It could take up to hours, so it's a great time again to walk away and tidy things up. And we're back here again. So each one has a different meaning. So now the question marks mean it needs a new member. So we are in the backup assistant rechecking process. So we want to go back and put our member 1 back in because we're a member 2. So once you put that in there, it should finally recognize it, and that's the little emblem, gray emblem, saying it's working. Green means good, yellow and red mean bad. So once you have all your LTOs finished, remember to pack them up the right way, close it, and hand deliver it all the way back where the other LTOs belong. And remember, keep it organized and straight. Here is a brief overview on how to do the master archive database. Open File Maker Pro. Here's the open, hit remote, and this window open, hit edit 6, and then master archive, and now you click open, and this will open up. So now what we want to do is find the last LTO number used. So how we do this is we go to library number, LTO, find. Then you see number 1, 2, and all the way down to the bottom, 476 was used last. So now we know to use 477. Add a new record. So hit OK. Here is the library number LTO, and we know it's 477. We named the tape, and since we have more than one member, we're going to do 1 out of 2. Copy this, paste it here, and I'm going to put who it's logged by. Copy and paste from your previously written notes. And I'm going to say this is LTO tape format, and these are home movies. So great. And I'm also going to put the date today. Location LTO. Make sure everything's good. Double check everything's in the right spot, and you should be able to go through and it should automatically save for you. So now we can double check LTO, it's in the system. Great. So what if I made a mistake and we'll go back and edit it? I'll go back into the system, made a mistake, go back in, look for the LTO, go to it, edit record, and I want to add in that it's an LTO tape, so in the keywords and what number it is. And that's how you briefly do a quick edit. Grab the Home Movies Collection binder from the same shelf area as the DVDs and LTOs. Bring it to the table. Open up to the proper section. Insert the new paperwork to the end. You want to have the original and the copy of the FedEx. Make copies. Insert one into the return box of the Home Movie Collection and insert another copy into the binder. And then remember to put it back. Now we are going to go over Home Movies Collections Master List. This is an Excel sheet that Scott has located on his computer. Now first thing we're going to do is insert a column. Then we're going to type in the Home Movies name that we have, the person's last name, the owner's first name, and then we are going to add the address and contact information just in case we need to use it in the future. Then you want to type in a receive for, if there was a reason it was received. And you want to add the number of reels there was. If there was one, then you don't really have to put the information. If there's more than one, then please put the information. And then you want to copy and paste the general footage description. For this has already been typed up when you were watching the home movies. Then you want to take your laptop and ask Scott for if there are any rights restrictions or not.